Alright, so we have another Tier 10 game on, this time we're on Serene Coast. It's pretty much majority high tier. There's only a couple Tier 8s, especially on the enemy team. However, they have more Tier 9s as a result, which is not too great, but whatever, we'll play through it. So again, I'm in my Centurion Action 10, starting off the beginning of the game. When I play my Action 10, or really any strong hold down medium tank on this map, I tend to try to push for this section of the map, kind of go from our spawn, make my way around to this corner, and there's a little ridge here. And it's good to try and hold that ridge down because you can get into a hold down position. And I'm still actually kind of new to this thing. But at this point in the game, or at this point in my career, I was still kind of new. So I was saying I'm not quite sure what to think about this thing. And I was asking if it just takes time, because to me it just kind of seems like basically another Centurion 7-1. Which is a good vehicle, but I was expecting almost like Soviet Tier 10 mediums in terms of armor and stuff like that. Not sure why, but I was. So my first shot against the Conqueror bounced off the side of his hull. Returns at the last moment. I'm reloading, try and get another shot. Can't really seem to find one. He pulls in the cover, and I end up hitting the rock again. So that's 2 shots missed against the Conqueror there. Now I'm moving back up to support the rest of my team, then move forward. I see the enemy E50M. I bounce one across the front of his turret. And then while he's reloading, I move up to try to get into better cover. I look and make sure the Centurion does not have shots on me. The E50 does have shots on me. I take a shot at him. I miss. He shoots at the T-25 pilot to my right-hand side. I crest the ridge. I know he's still reloading. I take a shot, but I didn't aim it, and it ends up bouncing off the side of his hull. He snaps a shot into, I believe, my turret. So I can see him moving up, and again, I mess up the shot because he turns at the last moment. Bounces off either the front of his turret or the side of his turret, but now he's in a pretty bad spot, backed up too far, and then I just send one through the top of his hull, and he takes a shot at somebody on my team, so I take another shot, goes through the front of his turret, and at this point we kind of have the advantage on this hill here, so I take a shot at the enemy Centurion 7-1. Pull back a little bit, wait for me to reload, make sure the coast is clear, kind of try to keep my distance. This thing doesn't exactly have the world's best armor, but it's definitely not bad. Take a shot at the Scorpion G. It's a very thinly armored tank, but the gun on it is extremely dangerous. Push forward. I realize that there's nothing else really preventing us from moving. Try to see if I can get a shot at the Centurion through the crack, but I don't. Now I'm aiming at the T-30, trying to find a shot into him. I end up sending it into the very bottom of his hull, and I got a critical hit there. So I either damaged his tracks or his ammo, more than likely just his tracks. And then I take another shot, hitting his front drive wheel, and that locks him in place, blows his tracks off, so I'm able to put another shot into the front of his hull. And it looks like he's already used his repair kit, so he can't really go anywhere, and he's kind of stuck. So now I have more shots on the Leopard prototype. The first shot misses. I have no idea where that goes. So I'm waiting for him. He's backing up. I send another shot into him. I roll high, 423, with my average damage being just, I believe, 390. Now I'm backing up, ready to shoot again, looking for shots on the T-25 pilot. No shots on him, though. He died before he could get out in the open again. Now I'm looking for shots on this T-10. I'm moving up, using the dead tank in front of me as cover. I notice he gets killed, so I'm free to move up even further. Now I have another tank here, very convenient. and from behind him I can take shots at that Centurion 7-1. I get a shot right into him. It doesn't look like he has the top gun. It might be the second 20-pounder, but I can't really tell, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm looking for another shot into him, or another shot into the Jagdpanzer. He turns his hull just enough so I can get it into the top of his casemate, and it goes right in because the armor there is extremely thin, and with a gun like this it tends to either overmatch or just go straight through. I turned and watched myself get a little bit of air there coming over the hill. Went a little bit airborne for a second. The Jagdpanzer takes a shot at our FV-215B, so I shoot at him, it bounces off of him. Somebody else tracks him though, so I track him again, and now my job is to either keep him tracked or get behind him, right? So I figure if I can just hit him again, it'll keep him tracked in place, and now I know he's just going to be a one-shot, so I just start moving out. I notice the M4 on my side though, so I duck in behind the rock. And now my job is to try and get behind this guy. And I believe, yeah, he ends up sending one into me. However, I ram him for another 214 damage. It's a very thinly armored tank, so basically if you can hit it, it's pretty much a guarantee that it'll go through. So again, I'm trying to just kind of get as close to him as possible, and he hits my tracks instead of my hull. I think he panicked a little bit there, and as a result he missed. So I'm taking a shot at the mouse, but the shot dips and it actually hits his hull, which is extremely well angled. So now he's climbing up the hill and going for another shot, and again, I think I aimed that one incorrectly, because that seemed to go down and hit his hull again. So now I can tell there's only 2 enemy tanks left, and I didn't have any shots on the mouse, and the mouse just drowned himself because he didn't feel like getting killed, so instead he drowned himself. Wonderful. It's kind of a scummy move, you know, figure, hey, I'm gonna die, but, you know, I'm gonna prevent the enemy team from getting points for the kill, so I'm just gonna kill myself. That's nice. So people are shooting at this T-30, and I'm thinking, you know, hey, I'm not going to get there in time. Sure enough, I don't. I only end up getting 2 kills, though. However, I walk away with 5.9 thousand in damage. All in all, a pretty good game on Serene Coast. Probably could have done a little bit more. I walked out with most of my hit points intact. Probably should have spent a little bit more time on the front lines, but at the same time, this gun's pretty accurate over long distances, and I figured, you know, rather than run up and get shot and die pretty damn quickly, I would have just stuck back, and just kind of played a supportive medium tank as opposed to, you know, kind of rushing in. But yeah, overall, another pretty decent game. In my Centurion Action 10 Tier 10 British medium tank on the Serene Coast map.